Good evening and welcome. A big kia ora to everyone in New Zealand and a big good evening to everyone tuned in on SRL TV. It is your second Six Nations game of the opening round. It'll be the Great Britain Lions taking on the New Zealand Kiwis. And what a game it's going to be. Sold out Manchester Stadium. A sea of absolute red in the stands, as you can see, as the Lions run out to the full roar of the crowd. And the Kiwis in hostile territory. They know they're up against it, but they have the talent and the quality to get a win here tonight. But it'll be no easy feat, not a warm welcome for the men from Aotearoa. The men in black, led by John McCartney. The Lions led by Anthony McDonald. As both sides line up for the anthems. And the British home crowd singing God Save the King in full voice. You can hear them getting rowdy. You can hear them chanting and singing now. We're just moments away from kickoff. Your second Six Nations tournament game of the opening round, proudly brought to you by TBC Live. I'm Sonny Tyre here in the box for tonight's absolute blockbuster of a game. It's New Zealand and Great Britain. And here we go. Rohan Koval gets us underway for your second game. Play dishes it out to Anthony McDonald, who gets laid out on the first hit up by David Barner, I believe it was. Steps on the outside, Jacob Morrison. And what a game we've got between these two sides. We start with the Lions, nearly pulling off an upset victory over Australia in the trials. They were up 22-6 in the second half before the Aussies managed to find a way back and stole the win right at the end, courtesy of a coast-to-coast Nathan O'Donnell try at the death. The Kiwis coming off a narrow loss to Pacifica last week, a controversial call at the end of the game. Down by 6, they opted to go for the 2-point conversion instead of the kick for touch to try and level the game. But here they are, the Kiwis. They are up against it in front of this hostile British crowd. There's a few Kiwis in attendance, a few specks of black here in the crowd. But it is a sea of red, and you can feel it, you can hear it. The place is rocking, and that is the atmosphere of SRL footy in the international level. Aaron White dishes it inside. Chance Bunce cuts through midfield. Brought down there by Tyrone Clay, and Tyrone Clay will be looking to have another great game if his trial form is anything to go by, scoring a double for the Lions, and he'll be relied upon heavily going up against Chance Bunce. It's no easy battle. Fifth and last, Cooper Gronk with the kick. Gets it to Jacob Morrison. And Morrison not able to do much on that return. And these two sides in Pool B alongside Ireland. And this game will do a lot for their chances of making the final. Points differential will be huge when it comes to that equation. So not only do you want to get the win, you want to try and win big here tonight. Butterfield takes the run, met in the two-man tackle, driven back shy of the line, 33 metres gain on the set. Fifth and last now, Great Britain give it to Justin Dolan. And the backs for both teams having a stab at the kicking duties as Cooper Gronk there to return it. But he's wrapped up there on his 20. 5 minutes played here from Manchester, and what a game this is going to be. What a test match we saw last night, Australia and Europe. The Aussies coming away with a 31-24 victory as Chance Bunce shrugs one off, straight through the middle. Chance Bunce, he's nearly gone. Great tackle there. Didn't see who it was, but now they shift it left. David Tiawa playing in at the left centre spot for tonight. Usually accustomed to playing in the second row. And Moana, Kiwis vice captain, Season 8 Premiership winning captain with the Bulldogs, gets them about 7 shy of the try line. 5th and last, the Kiwis. McCartney puts in a grubber. Chance Bunce! Try time, Kiwis! And Buncey gets across for the first points of the game. Courtesy of a John McCartney try assist, just drops it on the boot. And like they do so often in clubland, McCartney and Bunce linking up on the play. And that'll be the first try for the Kiwis. Kick to come here. 4-0 is the score. And Kaval with an easy conversion from in front. Should take them to 6-0 here. And Great Britain, not the start that you want. The Warriors are a team that play with a lot of attacking execution, a lot of attacking oriented play. And once they get comfortable, once they find their rhythm, their momentum, it can be very tough to stop. But this Great Britain side, they've got a lot of great names. Matty Harris, their platinum player, playing in at the front row alongside Anthony McDonald, their captain. Josh Butterfield and Kyle Lewis in the halves. The backline, Kyron Clay, Jacob Morrison, Ethan Goodwin. New stack names around the park here. Jordan Lewis in the lock position. The Welsh Dragon. A few Welshmen in the crowd here tonight as well. As we see the flags, we hear the songs and the chants. Obviously the British crowd not off to the ideal start, but the Kiwis, they'll be looking to bounce back and be the firm contender of Pool B. A win against Great Britain today would get them a step closer. As David Tiawa gets them inside opposition half. 5th and last now. Just over 40 metres gain on the set as they drop in the pocket to John McCartney. Just sends it downfield. A good kick there, but Goodwin's there to return it. He might have space. Steps DTA. Won't get past Buncey. And the Lions just shy of the 30. They'll give it to Harris. Harris finds space. Hits a goosey on Bunce. He's probably still caught up in the fullback mindset, Matty Harris. He's not afraid to put a step on every now and then. But he will be crucial for the Great Britain Lions here tonight if they're to get a result. Their forward pack will have to step up. It's Dusty Richards now. Takes the contact. Met there in a 2-man tackle. Logan Strange and Jaden White, I believe it was. Orcaval, 5th and last. Butterfield sends it up high. It's very shallow. Who's going to get it? It's Dolan. Comes down with it, but just nothing doing at the end there. And the Brits let that one go. As the Kiwis straight on the right wing. Cooper Gronk, watch out. They're going to drag him out into touch. And he's called into touch. Great defensive play there from the Lions. As we'll take a look at your replay. Cooper Gronk getting past Jacob Morrison, but in pursuit was Dusty Richards and Tyrone Clay. Clutch stuff there from the Lions, and now they've got a good chance inside the Kiwi half to get points on the board. I'll tell you what, New Zealand have done a good job defensively so far. Not really letting too much get through them as we see Jordan Lewis now. Gets him inside the red zone. Crowd on their feet here, the British crowd. They have turned up in full force, in full voice. Matty Harris gets him to the 10-metre line. 3rd tackle now. Great Britain shifted inside. Kyle Lewis. Oh, it's a wide out pass. It's risky, but Butterfield does a great job to save it. Holds onto it through the tackle. 4th now. Where will they go? The Lions shift it right. It's a cutout put to Sadler. And Sadler's driven back. 5th and last now. The Lions drop in the pocket. Kyle Lewis puts in a grubber, but no one in support. Kobe Johnston there to scoop it up. And it goes begging for the Lions. Great Britain with a good opportunity inside the red zone. But just no one in the chase as Rahul Kaval gets sent by Matty Harris. And Matty Harris having a second dig at him. It's Tyler Maxwell now, playing in at the left wing position. He's been one of the perennial fullbacks in the past couple of seasons for the Bulldogs. But when you've got a chance bunts there, you have to shift them around the back line, and that's what makes this Kiwi back line so versatile. With DTA playing in there as well. 5th and last now. New Zealand give it back in the pocket. Caval will send it towards the corner of Jacob Morrison. Morrison's got a bit of a run up. He just has to get past Bunce, but he's brought down. Good two-man tackle from Bunce and David Barner. No, sorry, from Caval. I keep getting him mixed up as Butterfield on the wing. Makeshift winger gets him inside Kiwi half. Inside the 40, they play the ball. Lewis finds Richards. And both nations looking for a big win here today to get their Six Nations campaign off on the right foot. Ball tackle now, Great Britain. Crossing the red zone. Matty Harris bumps off one and keeps going on the post contact. 5th and last, 68 gained on the set. Great Britain drop it back. Butterfield sends it high. Who's going to be under it? It's the tight end Maxwell, there to catch it. Gets past one, but brought down. As they give it short now to Bunce, and what a tight encounter this has been. In the opening stanza, your second Six Nations game of the opening round. Caval shrugs one off. And he goes straight through the gap to get them shy of the halfway. Third tackle, the Kiwis shift it left. Kobe Johnston there. New Zealand not rushing themselves. Barner through the line. Brought down by Sadler, I believe. 5th and last now. The Kiwis going to try and get a good kick away. Morrison there again. They've been targeting him. Watch out. He steps two. He cuts back in field. Just has to split the defenders. But a great tackle. A great follow there from Damien Moana. He was just all over in pursuit. And both sides going tit for tat at the moment. Not much separating the two besides 6 points. Offload, great ball to Amac. Shrugs one off, gets a good ball away to Dustin Richards. What a play from the Lions. It's the sort of play they're going to need to do here tonight if they want to get a result against New Zealand. You can't be afraid to roll the dice. Risk-reward factor. But you've got to back yourself. As the Lions shy of the red zone, they'll try and get a good kick to pin him deep. Butterfield sends it. It's a good kick. Who's going to be there? Who's contesting? It's Bunce. Bunce gets laid out by Anthony McDonald. And Buncey catching that one, but not without a price to pay. Cool and calm under the pressure as always, Chance Bunce. Even when he knows that quick chase pressure is coming, he'll hold on to that ball. And he cops a big hit for his troubles. And the tempo has slowed down in this game. Both teams just in an arm wrestle at the moment. The Kiwis 4 tackle straight through. John McCartney hits that left edge. He'll try and get past Tyrone Clay, but is brought down by the reinforcements. 5th and last now. Where will they go? The Kiwis drop it in the pocket. Kawal's there. Sends it towards the left side, or the right side, for the Kiwis and Morrison. He's been targeted all night. The Kiwis seem like that's the game plan. Tyrone Clay, he breaks open the line. Can't split the defenders. But Great Britain finding a lot of holes in this defensive line. These past few sets, they're starting to find their rhythm now. Sadler off the offload from Driscoll. Oh, Jameson shuffle, Tyrone Clay. I thought he was gone there. Brought down in a good tackle. Ruben Mobbs straight through the gap. Ruben Mobbs gets the offload. Jordan Lewis. Try time. Great Britain. And what a score from Jordan Lewis. Beautiful offload there. And all he had to do was put it down. The Welsh Dragon gets the first points for the Lions. And the crowd absolutely erupts. I can barely hear myself. But up they go. Jordan Lewis. Great Britain's vice captain. To the applause of the home crowd. Well, Great Britain, they're officially designated as the away team, but we are playing on British soil. And the Brit fans loving it here. Kyle Lewis, kick to come, slots it from the left, and that'll make it 6-all, 22 minutes played. And what a game, what a start. Great Britain, they were off to a shaky start, but they're starting to settle into the game now. New Zealand just a bit lackluster on the attacking sets for the past couple of attacking sets. Plenty of time left, they're going to have to try and turn it around. As Clay will field it straight to Goodwin. Goodwin coming off the bench and into the front row for Great Britain as Lewis now will be looking to lead by example. It's his first tournament playing for Great Britain, I believe. He has had a stint for Europe, but he finds himself now where he belongs. The sole Welsh representative in this Great Britain side. There's a lot of Poms and Scotsmen here in this lineup. Butterfield with a good kick. Not enough distance on it though. Bunsey with just enough space to get that field return. First tackle, the Kiwis battling from their own half. And oh, Logan Strange just gets folded on the contact. And I'll tell you what, Great Britain, they're bringing a very physical style of footy. And I'll tell you what, the Kiwis love to play that style of footy as well. They won't shy away from the challenge. This Chance Bunce is brought down by the coattails from Kyle Lewis. At the halfway now, the men from Aotearoa, they give it to Thomas Wallace and he's driven back. Thomas Wallace, Season 7 Sim VP. A lot of experience across the park for the Kiwis as Jai McCartney will send it towards the corner of Ethan Goodwin. They haven't targeted his wing too much. Let's see what he can do. He'll step David Tiawa, but he won't get past Jai McCartney. And Kyle Lewis, straight through the gap he goes. Gets him shy of the 40. 26 minutes played here from Manchester. Your second game of the opening week. The Six Nations tournament finally here. We can't wait to witness it all go down. If this first 26 minutes is anything to go by, we are in for an absolute cracker. Tyrone Clay straight through the middle. Just needs to get past Bunce. Bunce dived at the ground, but the reinforcements there to bring him down inside the 10. Fifth and last. Great Britain go left side. They put the grubber in. It's a grubber for Dusty Richards. And Great Britain score once again. The Lions, they are roaring proudly here in this first half. As you can see, short ball there. Butterfield with the grubber. Strange trying to pick it up and collect it. But Dusty Richards just had to use his left hand to scoop it up and plant it down through the roar of the British crowd. As you can hear them, they are loving it. The atmosphere is off its chops here from Manchester. It's always an experience. It's always an atmosphere at the international level. Kyle Lewis, tough conversion from the side, but he might slot it. He does. 12-6 is the score in favour of Great Britain. The Lions off to an ideal start now. They hold a 6-point lead against New Zealand. And the Kiwis, they will have to try and find a way to bounce back, preferably before half-time, before they head into the sheds. You at least want to go in there level terms. But still 12 minutes remaining in this first half. And Six Nations coverage on SRL TV, proudly brought to you by TBC Live. And what a game it's been. It's Great Britain with a 6-point lead as the Kiwis try and hold them in their own half. And Richards there wrapped up in the tackle. New Zealand, such an explosive team. Their leadership with Jai McCartney and Damien Moana. McCartney helping to lead his team alongside Chance Bunce from a -4 competition point deficit to the prelim finals. They were just 1 point away from a potential grand final. Damien Moana, Season 8 Premiership winning captain with the Bulldogs. You combine the two together and the leadership will help elevate New Zealand, hopefully for them, to finish top of the pool. But they're going to be up against it, the crowd playing their part. And with this constant chanting and singing, it's making it hard for the Kiwis to communicate They can barely hear the teammate next to each other. Great offload from vice-captain to captain. Makani receiving it, gets him inside opposition, 40. 31 minutes play, chance bunch straight through the middle, steps one. Great defense to slow him down and bring him down though. Jordan Lewis, I believe it was. They shift it right. Moana, he had space, but they shift it right. Cooper Gronk steps one. Brought down. 71 meters gain on the set for the Kiwis. 5th and last. They drop it flat pocket. Moana tries to get the boot away. And a mistake once again from New Zealand. And Great Britain now. They're just playing a very grind type of game, aren't they? They're really trying to wear down the Kiwis. As they shift it out wide, Jacob Morrison might be taking in the touch. Yes, he is. Great defensive play there from Cooper Gronk. And Jacob Morrison just gambling with it too much there on the left. He didn't give himself much space to move. And considering the defenders that were waiting there for Jacob Morrison, Bunsey and Aaron White there, there was just nowhere for him to go really. The Kiwis now inside opposition half. Gonna try and get towards the red zone through Kobe Johnston. And he'll do so off that one run alone. Second tackle now. New Zealand give it out. Chance bunts. They shift it to Kawal. Kawal just taking the contact. Inside the 10 they go, New Zealand. Third tackle, play the ball. Moana gives it out to Guys. And Logan Guys off the bench through the middle he goes. Kawal, this is it out. It's an open try, Cooper Gronk! Try time, Kiwis! And what a score, what a play. What a way to capitalise there. For New Zealand, Cooper Gronk had all the space, he just needed the ball. And a great set play from New Zealand executed to perfection. As we take a look on the TBC live replay, Cooper Gronk, once he had that ball, no one around him. No one in range to stop that try. And New Zealand level the terms. Oh well, 10-12 is the score. Kick to come to try and level the terms. Kawal with a huge kick. It's a tough one. The British crowd making it harder for him. As he'll swing it back across the middle it goes. 12-all is the score. 34 minutes played here. And what a game. 12-all on Manchester. Both sides just tit for tat at the moment. Not much separating the two. The Kiwis and the Lions playing up against each other for the first time in a game of international 13s, in an international test match. And they are certainly bringing us the goods, aren't they? 12-all as Kobe Johnston gets him shy of the 30. They'll shift it back in field. Guys gets in the way. But it'll do well to hold on to the ball. Third tackle now. New Zealand shifted inside. Chance bunts. Finds a gap. Gets an offload away to Damien Moana. Bit of a risky one, but he gets it through the traffic. Fourth tackle now. The Kiwis shift it left. Inside ball to Makani. Dishes it out to TTM. Potato Maxwell. There to take it. Inside opposition half. Fifth tackle. Less than 4 minutes remaining in this first half as John Makani sends it downfield. It's a good kick. Goodwin's forced to return it from his own in goal. And great kick chase there from New Zealand. The Lions now probably going to try and just wind down the clock. You don't want to afford forcing a turnover. There's Lachlan Cox now playing in at the right centre position. Give it short. Driscoll inside to Ruben Mobbs, and Mobbs is just met back there, driven back there, met in the tackle. Fourth now for the Lions, struggling to find meters on this attack. Not even Tyrone Clay can open up the space there, so fifth and last. Only 27 gained for Great Britain as they drop it back in the pocket. Kyle Lewis just sends it downfield. Watch out, Chance Bunce is going to have a bit of a run up. Steps one. Brought down, great tackle from Bo Sadler. as Caval takes him on the right edge, and he'll be driven back. First half nearly up already. What a game it's been, very tightly contested. Inside opposition half, the Kiwis going to try and get more points on the board before half time as Kobe Johnston finds a bit of space on the left edge. Gets him about 12 metres away from the try line. They go left, Makani out wide to Moana, and Moana will be driven out into touch, and the British crowd go up once again. Great defensive play there from Ethan Goodwin. Sorry, from Lachlan Cox it was. Big Cox getting one over Damien Moana, dragging him over into touch. As we wind down the clock on what has been an absolute arm wrestle of a first half. Tyrone Clay now takes the tackle, 10 seconds remaining. British fans on their feet here. As we see AMAC, last one of the half, and that'll be half time. It's 12-all. We'll see you in the second. Welcome back from Manchester Stadium. Playing host to your second Six Nations game of the opening round. It's 12-all. We are deadlocked between the New Zealand Kiwis and the Great Britain Lions. And what an absolute battle it's been in the first half between the two sides. Club checks going through for the Kiwis. And New Zealand, they were off to a flying start. First try courtesy of Chance Bunce. Bill Jai McCartney assist off the grubber. The Lions then hit back with two of their own before the Kiwis finally levelled it. And that should make for an interesting second half. Strap yourselves in, you don't want to miss it. Your Six Nations action right here on SRL TV as the Kiwis play the ball. Jai McCartney in the pocket. They'll send it towards Ethan Goodwin. On the return, watch out, Goodwin wrapped up there. And both subchecks now cleared. Just a reminder, there will be subchecks in the 60th minute once both teams receive their attacking possession. Making sure everything goes smoothly here today. But what a great game it's been. Very tightly contested, very close. Not much separating the two at all. It just feels like it's going to come down to who takes their chances better. Oh, 40-20 attempt from the Lions. Kyle Lewis, he won't go for the sideline. He'll just send it downfield. He saw Chance Bunce, was rushed up. And too much sauce on it. And interesting to note that the Kiwis bringing Tyler Almatangi on to hooker in the second half. He is a perennial backline player. Fullback for the Dolphins. Couple stints at wing for the Kiwis. He finds himself playing hooker here in the second, and we'll see how that all transpires. As New Zealand, off the shoulder. Caval doing good to hold on to it. Shrugs one off TTM on the sideline. And it's been a battle on those wings there between the two nations. And set play there from the Kiwis. Not afraid to throw it around and play expansive footy now. Fourth tackle inside the red zone. New Zealand dish it out. Cut out ball to Jai McCartney. McCartney gets a couple post-contact meters on him. Great effort. Held in the tackle is the call. Referee blowing a penalty, much to the dismay of the British crowd. And Rohan Caval will have a chance to take the lead. Another penalty conversion. About 23-25 meters away on the goal. Just left off the uprights. The crowd giving it to him, but he'll slot it. Caval gives the Kiwis a 2-point lead here from Manchester. And that is the ideal start that the Kiwis would have wanted in the second half. But still, 2-point deficit, not much breathing room. Given the way this one has played out. Kyle Lewis will send it back downfield to get us underway. Chance Bunce dishes it. Caval on the run up now. Him and his brother playing for New Zealand in the Six Nations tournament. And oh, Thomas Wallace straight through the middle, gets a big bump off. And Thomas Wallace injecting a bit of energy through the middle of the Kiwis forward pack as Damien Moana there to follow up. Two good consecutive plays there on the attack for New Zealand as Kobe Johnston shrugs one off, cuts in field, and he splits the defenders. Kobe Johnston, try time Kiwis. What an absolute beauty of a try there from Kobe Johnston. Who would have expected the big second rower? And he just splits the defenders, weaves in and out, looking like an outside back. Beautiful try there from Kobe Johnston. And now New Zealand with a chance to add two more to their lead. Kick to come there. Kaval will have an easy task ahead of him. A few Kiwis travelling all the way from New Zealand to be here for tonight's game and for the tournament. A lot of accommodation in Manchester sold out this weekend for this tournament. Well, slots it. The Kiwis now up 20 points to 12 against Great Britain. And the crowd still in voice here, but slowly slipping away from them. Plenty of time left to be played, and we've seen what can happen in the SRL. We saw what happened in the trials. You can never call a game until it's all said and done, barring an absolute blowout. But you've got to expect these games to be very tightly contested, very close. We've got some of, if not all, the best talent in the SRL playing in this competition, playing alongside and against one another. And it's one of the many beautiful things about playing international footy. Seeing all these superstars across the park in different jerseys, playing for their country, playing for their culture, playing for their heritage. It's an absolute spectacle. Morrison now fields the kick return, and he's met once again by Aaron White. Morrison trying to break open on that left wing, but they've done a solid job at keeping him marked, minimising his impact. Second now, the Lions. They go midfield. Butterfield shifts it out to Kyle Lewis. And Lewis wrapped up in a three-man tackle there. 15 minutes played, third tackle. Lockie Cox tries to get something going. They might go for a kick here. They're lined up in the pocket, but they go flat to Jordan Lewis. Bumps one off, and Jordan Lewis gets past Caval. Won't get past DTA, I believe it is. Good tackle now. They drop back. Butterfield sends it downfield. Who's going to be there to return it? It's Cooper Gronk. Gets a bit of a run-up. Steps through, but he's driven back. Great tackle there from Butterfield, I believe it was. They go right-hand side, Aaron White, and he's dragged back. Mano stuff here. Just too close to call this game at the moment. No team really establishing dominance throughout this clash. And Kobe Johnston, there you go, on the left edge. What a game he's been having for New Zealand. Gets them to the halfway now. They go left. Oh, and it's a knock-on. Turned over from New Zealand and Great Britain now with a good chance. Just shy of the halfway. They go midfield. Sadler dishes it out to Butterfield. And Butterfield. 45 out from their own try line. They go through the middle. Both Sadler there. And Cox now driven back. Third tackle for Great Britain. They're in Kiwi half, but they're struggling to make meters on this attacking set. Go to Matty Harris. Fourth tackle, Great Britain. Inside ball, Lachlan Cox. Dragged down there from Damien Moana, I think it is. I might be wrong. Fifth and last now. Great Britain, what will they do? Where will they go? Kyle Lewis just punts it towards the corner of Tyler Maxwell. Maxwell's got space. He just needs to split the defenders. And Great Britain doing a good job to close out that gap. And all of a sudden the Kiwis, good ball inside Great Britain half. Thomas Wallace running amok through the middle. They shift it right now. David Tiawa banging at that second row position in the second half. Oh, Caval gets him inside the 40. Opposition 40. Moana, he had space, but he gets the pass out to Kobe. Kobe Johnston, that is. 60 metres gained on this set. 5th and last. 55 played from Manchester as Jai Makani just stabs it down towards Ethan Goodwin. And Ethan Goodwin wrapped up in a good tackle there. Johnny Columbus, I think it was. Oh, Lewis now. To the right edge, and they're struggling to find space in this New Zealand defence. Here the Lions, and flat ball to Jordan Lewis. He had to halt his run there. As we tick towards the final quarter of the game. Join us tomorrow, it's Pacifica and Ireland, rounding off the first week of Six Nations action as Kyle Lewis goes for a 40-20. No, he'll just send it downfield. It could have too much on it. No, it bounces up perfectly. Bunce is there to return it. They've got to bring him down. Chance Bunce, he'll be gone if he gets past Tyrone Clay. Chance Bunce, he's going, and he's nearly gone. He had numbers on the left, but he won't use it. And all of a sudden, the Kiwis inside opposition red zone. And it's turned over, but Goodwin takes it into touch. And the Lions, they had the chance there to take that one away. But Goodwin just holding on to the ball. Should have just left it, but all of a sudden the Kiwis, prime opportunity inside the red zone. And if you're Great Britain, you want to dig deep for this one. One more score here, and that could be the demoralizer for the Lions. The Brits now trying to hold up on their defensive line. Kobe Johnston turned around on his back. Third tackle. Will they try and dart from dummy half here? They play the ball. Flat ball. Oh, it's there. Elmatangi. Elmatangi catches it and just puts it down. Cool and calm, as easy as you like. Tyler Elmatangi, the makeshift hooker in the second half, found himself with all the space in the world. He actually couldn't believe how open he was, and just plots it down right there, untouched. He caught one off the noggin of Falcon there. He was lucky to regather the ball. Very unlucky for Great Britain. Given the first half that they had, given the game they had against Australia last week, we just thought that they were going to bring a good competitive battle. The Roll Dust slots it in. I'll tell you what, the Lions, not without their chances, but just unable to execute the way they want to. Now, they're only down by 14. But we're entering the final quarter of the game. They've only got just over 20 minutes to make a comeback, and they have to be the first team to score if they're going to try and get this result here. But New Zealand just showing their class now as we approach the 60-minute mark. Another reminder, sub-checks will take place for both sides as Thomas Waller straight through the left edge once again. The Kiwis just piercing holes through this Great Britain line, and it is making life harder for the Great Britain Lions. So we see sub-checks now about to be performed. And 60-minute sub-checks all cleared now for the Kiwis, as Rohan Kavar will get them shy of the 30. Fifth and last now, the Lions going to try and come up with a huge kick return. Ethan Goodwin's got the responsibility, but he's wrapped up once again by Johnny Columbus. And substitutes now going through for the Great Britain Lions. Anthony McDonald back out on the field, their skipper, and he's going to have to dig deep, lead by example, and show his boys, show the Lions that there's still a fighting chance. As Blair Curtin through the right edge finds a bit of space, gets a bit of momentum going. And Great Britain, what can they come up with here? They play the ball, McKinnon, cut out ball, Sadler gets it. Not much doing there, fifth and last now. They're going to have to boot it downfield. And they look right, they give it to Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis will just stab it towards the corner. TTM is there and waiting. Steps one, won't get past Tyrone Clay. And he's turned on his back there inside their own 30. And the Kiwi fans enjoying this game now. They've got a bit of breathing room. Oh, risky play there. Reverse inside out to Chance Bunce. Gets him inside opposition half now. Third tackle, the Kiwis. They go to Kaval, gives it out to David Tiawa. And Tiawa just holds onto it. Fourth now. Straight through the middle. David Barner with an offload to Al-Matangi. But then last now, New Zealand looking to pin them deep with a good kick, and they'll go with Kaval on the crossfield punt. It's got airtime. He's got a bit of space. Ethan Goodwin on the right edge. Just needs to get past Chance Bunce. Can't do so. And the kick return's not going the way that the Lions would have liked, obviously. But the back line of New Zealand has just been doing a good job to keep them contained. And it has not come easy for the Great Britain Lions to just pierce this line of Kiwi defenders. A wall of black jerseys wherever they turn. Slow play the ball. Curtin now eventually gets it to Matty Harris through the left edge. Harris gets them going off a great run there on the 20. They play it. Held down a bit in the tackle. British crowd not liking it one bit. Fifth and last. They'll drop back to Butterfield. Butterfield sends it. It's perfectly placed. Who's under it? Tap back Tyrone Clay. He's wrapped up. And nowhere to go for the Great Britain Lions, and the Kiwis standing up in that moment. They just need to wind down the clock. They don't need to force any risky passes. They don't need to overdo their hand. Kobe Johnston gets him through the left edge. Third tackle now. New Zealand shifted out wide to the right. Chance Bunce is there. Watch out for the infield. Oh, Chance Bunce. He hit that devastating signature step, but he forced that pass out. That was a certain try from Buncey if he just held onto it and backed himself. But now Great Britain, they find themselves with just a bit of hope now. The clock is not on their side. And it is going to take a moment of magic for someone to step up and get them back in this game. They'll go through Dusty Richards and he'll just be driven back. In Kiwi half now, they're going to need a good kick chase here to keep the Kiwis pinned deep. They go to Butterfield, down towards the wing of Cooper Gronk once again. Gronk steps one, gets past, turns Tyrone Clay inside out, and Cooper Gronk will go coast to coast to seal the game for New Zealand. And the Kiwis, under the line they go. Or under the goalpost they go. And Cooper Gronk just wound it up on the run. Or winds it up on the run. Gave himself a lot of space. Once he got past Lachlan Cox, he just had to split through Tyrone Clay, and he does so. A lot of cha-hooing going on in the crowd now. A lot of mana waving from these Kiwi supporters. Many of them making the trip from Aotearoa. Few of them based here in the UK. Kaval slots it 32-12 is the score. And the British fans now watching on in near silence. A few of them making their way towards the gates now. They've seen enough. Unfortunately for Great Britain, this game now out of reach. As Buncey takes the field, gives it to David Barner. And what a game it's been. Still 10 minutes remaining. And I'll tell you what, if you're Great Britain, you don't want to concede any more points. Because when it comes to making the Six Nations final, points differential is going to play a huge part, a huge factor in that equation. So if you're the Lions, you want to try and get another 1 or 2 tries on the board, some consolation points to help narrow that margin. But they have been held scoreless in the second half. And that is a big raps to John McCartney and his men in black. They've really stepped it up from last week. They looked good last week. But it was the mistakes that ended up costing them. Oh, Jacob Morrison, he finds a bit of space on the kick return, but Bunsey is there to wrap him. And a never say die attitude on display from the Lions. You love to see it as Matty Harris runs it through the left edge, held down a bit, second tackle now. The Brits trying to send one off, 6 again, Blair Curtin through the gap. And there you go, Great Britain finally getting the rub of the green. They go left side, Jacob Morrison steps inside, tries to barge his way over, turned up on his back. Gang tackle from the Kiwis. There was just no way he was going to find the ground with that amount of bodies around him and on him. No try, red lights from Manchester Stadium. But Great Britain with another 4 tackles up their sleeve. You have to think they got a score here. Held scoreless in the second half. Let's see if they can close that margin and give the British crowd one more try at least to celebrate. They go right side, Tyrone Clay dishes it out. Ethan Goodwin steps one. Can't get past the second. Still inside the 10. Great Britain running out of time here, running out of plays. Luke Driscoll on the crash play, turn on his back, 5th and last, 65 gain on his set. Where will they go? Great Britain going to try and pin up a good kick. They drop in the short pocket, double pass out to Kyle Lewis, sends it high. It's a Swallow who's there, brought down by Justin Dolan. And Justin Dolan, try time, Great Britain. What a play there from them. It finally opened up and Justin Dolan, eyes on it like a hawk, picks it off in the contest against Cooper Gronk. And Great Britain, the home fans, Gilvan still here, giving them something to cheer about in the second half. But it has just been all Kiwis in the second. If you're Anthony McDonald, you're Jordan Lewis, what is the game plan for next week? How can you bounce back? It'll be a tough question to ask. And for Great Britain, it is an absolute must-win situation from here on out. They've got to win their remaining 2 games, their last 2 games. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is the Kiwis. Ooh, bit of a... looked like a drop play there, but play on. I think the Kiwis will be taking on Ireland in the second round. Which means Great Britain would be facing off against Europe, I believe. And what a game that'll be for Great Britain and Europe. A great chance to win. Europe falling short of the Aussies in a brilliant display, a brave display from them last night. Here at this same venue. Great Britain about to fall short against the Kiwis, but a big kudos to Jai McCartney and Damien Moana. Those halftime adjustments from the Kiwis has just really helped them break open the game now. As you can see, Bunsey through the middle. And what a team New Zealand is. What a threat they're going to be in the Six Nations. After tonight's result, they will headline Pool B in the first spot at the top. And Goodwin might be taken out of bounds. Very close there from Ethan Goodwin. But the Kiwis getting the job done now. They're just winding down the clock as the Kiwi fans in attendance. Living it up here at the moment. Living in the moment. Tyrone Clay forces the ball out. Well, they had to throw it around. Why not? But it just turns the ball over once again, and New Zealand They'll take the ball on the sideline. Johnny Columbus dragged out into touch. Won't mean too much in the grand scheme of things. But a good defensive play there from Ethan Goodwin. I'll tell you what, his kick return game hasn't been at his best, but his defense has been one of the standout points for this Great Britain side. Very competitive in the first half. They had a 12-6 lead at one point against New Zealand, but it is the class and it is the execution of New Zealand that has got them the win here tonight. Well deserved. Justin Dolan, can he score one more? Justin Dolan, try time for Great Britain. And my hats off to Great Britain. They have fought right down till the end, receiving a standing ovation despite the loss. It is the spirit, it is the attitude that they've played with that has earned them the respect of the crowd. A consolation try at the end, a double to Justin Dolan. What a game he's had tonight for Great Britain. But the New Zealand Kiwis just too much on the night. Too Mickey on the night, as they would say in SRL. Carl Lewis right to left, he'll swing it. Straight over it goes, full time, 32-24. New Zealand get over the Great Britain Lions. What a win from John McCartney and the men in black. They will take a victory home, or to the hotels you could say, here tonight. They've got it done. The men from Aotearoa standing up here today, 1-0 to start their tournament. Top of Pool B they go. And what a game it was from these two nations. 32-24. New Zealand getting the win over Great Britain. As we take a look at your TBC Live stats, Cooper Gronk with a double, Al Matangi, Johnston and Bunce all across scoring tries for New Zealand. Justin Dolan with a double, Jordan Lewis and Dusty Richards across for the Lions. Time in possession on par, 52%, just in favour of the Kiwis. 20 from 27 completions compared to the Lions, 21 from 24. And only 4 errors for the Brits. So they did a good job at looking after the footy, but they just weren't able to find holes in the defence as much as they would have liked to. No penalties conceded from the Kiwis, 1 from the Lions. 179 tackles made from New Zealand. 20 missed tackles for both teams, but it was 37 line breaks for the Kiwis that helped them break open the field. 27 for Great Britain. We'll take a look at the stats now. Chance Bunce leading the way, 339 run meters, 10 tackles, 0 missed, 10 line breaks, try assist and a try. I'll tell you what, standard Bunce numbers. He is going to be the X factor for the Kiwis in this tournament, and it was on full display tonight. Great job by Chance Bunce. Kobe Johnston, what a play, what a player he is, what a game he had. 251 meters at the 11th spot, only missed 1 tackle from 20 completed tackles, 7 line breaks and a try to his name as well. Cooper Gronk on the right wing, helping to finish the game off for New Zealand. 176 1 meters, 4 line breaks and a double to his name. Caval, Moana, McCartney all over 120 run meters. Wallace, Maxwell and Al Matangi all over the century. Al Matangi slotting into the hooker position at half time. And personally I thought it was a bit of a risky play, but John McCartney, there's always method behind the madness. And look what's happened here in the second half. The Kiwis, they finally found their rhythm. Rohan Caval having a solid game. Didn't miss a conversion, I believe. 4 kicks for 100 meters. John McCartney, 8 for 261. David Tiawa not having the usual game he has, but he did start off in the centres. And second half, he found himself with more of the footy. But what a game from the Kiwis. I mean, that second half, they really just turned it up to the next level, and this is the sort of performance you can expect from them. They're going to be a tough team. My personal opinion is that they're the favourites of Pool B, and it's going to be a huge campaign for them, the Kiwis. They've got Great Britain in their pool, they've got Ireland, they've got the job done against one. They'll have to do it against Ireland, and they'll have to win their inter-pool clash in the 3rd week against Australia. that is going to be a huge game. Probably the game of the tournament, barring the finals, but it was a great job by McCartney and his men. Well-deserved victory. We'll take a look now at the Great Britain Lions. Tyrone Clay leading the way, 181 run meters, 5 line breaks, 16 tackles, 0 missed. No tries for him, but Tyrone Clay stood up. One of the better performers in this Great Britain side. Jacob Morrison, 171 from the wing, 5 line breaks. Ethan Goodwin over 130. 3 line breaks as well. Sadler had a stint at hooker in the first half. What was the lock? I can't even remember, but Matty Harris, 57 minutes, 118 run meters for him. Richards, Curtin, Butterfield and Lewis all over 100. I'll just give my quick thoughts. I thought Great Britain played outstanding in that first half. They weren't really throwing it around, more so they were just focused on their defence. And you have to be against an attacking oriented side like the Kiwis. But it was that second half, they just couldn't get anything going their way. They couldn't capitalise off the chances they had. They were relatively shut down on the kick returns, and possession inside opposition red zone just slipping away from them at the end. So a bit to work on for Great Britain, but I thought the fight back that they showed in the second half, it's a great testament of their character, and their fans certainly turned up in full voice here tonight. There was spine-tingling stuff here, hearing You'll Never Walk Alone as they broke away from the national anthems. I mean, what a night. What a game of footy it was. Great Britain, they will unfortunately go down this week, and I think next week they will be taking on Europe. I'll have to double check. But still a chance here. They did wonders, closing the gap towards the end. They'll only be down points differential-wise by 8 points. And it could all very well turn around in the weeks to come, but nonetheless, Guy McCartney and the Kiwis get it done, 32-24 against the Great Britain Lions. My name is Sonny Tyre, SRL Co-Commissioner. Thank you so much for joining me on your second game of the opening week. Six Nations tournament has arrived. Join us tomorrow. It'll be Pacifica taking on Ireland to round off the first week of your Six Nations footy. We'll see you back here in England next week. Thank you once again for joining me. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you back on SRL TV.
Seize the day.